Okay, I'll admit the people in. Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna start. Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of IPTO Unveiled. Finally, after a month hiatus, school break, Christmas, and what's so not, IPTO Unveiled has finally come back live to you again to serve up another episode. Today's hosts are me and my classmate Michelle Kong, and today our topic is self-motivation. As for who we will be talking with about this topic, our special guest for today is a former IPTO student and also alumni, Ko Kenneth Aaron. If you may say hi, you can turn on your mic.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, without further ado, let's get into today's episode, shall we? Cue the intro music. Good night, Ko Kenneth. Before we get into our questions, let's ask a bit more about you and get to know you a bit better. So, firstly, I want to ask, how was your experience at IPECA?
Right. So I think again, good evening, everyone. I think it was a great experience being a student of IPK Tomang. I think around almost 10 years ago, I was studying at IPK Tomang, and I really love and enjoy the study environment, and I really miss the school actually.
Well, what would you say made your experience so great in IPECA? What do you enjoy being in IPECA?
I think it was because the teachers was very nice. Like they are very fun, and the teachers basically help us to understand things or learn things like creatively, like interestingly. And then I also have a lot of friends that always like cheer me up when I feel like difficult. And maybe another like experiences that I actually enjoy was ministering with my friends at schools, like joining like the student organization as well. It was so great at the time. So yeah, it was a great, memorable experience actually.
You mentioned that you joined the student council. I'd like to get to know about that a bit more. What section were you in, or perhaps were you in the higher ups?
Uh, Actually, I have already forgot, but if I'm not mistaken, it was like event related section, I guess. Like, so I was actually appointed to coordinate of like the class meeting, and some of the events that usually the student council will help.
Mm. So based off what I know from the event leading stuff, it must have been pretty fun. I want to ask if you had any like really memorable memories you've had during that time.
During the student council, well, it was, I think, around 8 to 10 students in the student council at that time, and yeah, it was also memorable because basically we were very close to each other. We also did some kind of leadership camp at the moment, and actually the leadership camp was very fun and like exciting. It was like we basically being mentored by our senior, and yeah, so basically we can be a good leader. So it was very fun, like, and I actually learned so much things from the student council, because you know how to manage things, like doing a good project management or doing a good time management with a very limited like time. You still have to work on your homework, or you still have to work on your daily school tasks and so on. But yeah, you just need to basically finish all the activities on the student council as well. So it was fun.
What was the most fun thing you've had in the leadership camp thing?
I think it was like we were um, I think like we were told to sleep like so early, and then at the midnight, maybe around 1 or 2 a.m., like our mentor are waking us up, like, and then telling us to be ready at any moment. Like, we need to basically go into some of the spots that they have already appointed, and we need to do some missions on the post. uh yeah, it was fun because, like, you need to basically still like get up even though you already like sleepy, and like you have to support each other so that everyone can finish the mission like well. So yeah, I think that was the fun part of it.
Well, during your stay at IPK, do you think you've gained any life lessons after graduating in here?
Yeah, I believe like one of the valuable lesson that I got from my school, or my junior high school time, was to become a long life learner, because I believe like even until now, like during my age, I still need to actually learn things, even though it's not like something related to science, or like even though it's not related something to math or anything to the school subjects. But still, like a long life learner is something that you guys needs to have, or you guys needs to always be hold on, like the value that you needs to hold on every time.
You mentioned being a lifelong learner. I want to ask, like, what do you think is like a lifelong learner for a few of the students here who may not understand what that is?
Well, long life learner is basically you have to keep learning at every time, even though you already feel like you know something. Because I believe like learning process is not something that we only do from just on our school days, but every day, like not even in school, you learn something new, right? So yeah, keep learning is something that you guys needs to do.
You talk about IPECA in a very good light. I want to know if you're still in contact with anyone from IPECA until like now.
Yeah. I'm still in contact with some of my friends actually. Like I think not only some, but many of my friends. We're still like follow each other on the social media, and like sometimes we catch up in a few sessions or like in a few meetings. Yeah. I'm still connected with the other alumni.
Do you have any tips for us to help other kids staying in contact with other people for such a long term?
Well, I think the tips is just follow their social media, obviously. Because I think nowadays like social media is what connects us together or each other. So yeah, I think that's the only tips that I can give to you guys.
Well, since IPECA, what have you been doing in life now? Like, what do you work as?
So currently, I'm working in a financial technology startup. So it's a startup company called Toku. Basically, my role day to day is to help other companies' business to basically like facilitate payments. Like so, we work with the companies that would like to accept payments or like would like to do payouts to other vendors or like suppliers. So basically, me working as a business development. So I usually interact, communicate with the clients, and make sure that they love our products. They don't feel like very difficult to use our product. So yeah, that's actually my my current role.
I'm curious now. Now you bring up like business and stuff. Do you think that your job currently is hard in any way, or perhaps you could tell us like what rank are you working at your job? You know.
Uh, can you repeat the question?
Now that you mentioned the business stuff, I want to know: is it hard working in like what you are working as now in
Oh,
business?
it's it depends. I mean, every job should have their own difficulties, right? So it's actually part of like the perspective or like the point of view that you are actually using. For me myself, I do enjoy what I'm working now. So I think like the difficulties or the hard point is just like part of it, and I don't think that's something that should be worried at the moment.
Have you just recently started working with your job, or has it been like a long-term sort of thing?
I started working here in 2022, so it's been like almost 2 years.
I want to know: do you enjoy anything specifically about your job, perhaps?
Well, yes, like meeting new clients or new people, like communicating, interacting with people is something that is, I think, fun because you get to know others, and like you also get to know like what are their pain points, what they need, and so on. So, and that sometimes it actually also open up your minds because you will as I mentioned, like from that kind of conversation or like communication, sometimes you will learn something. So yeah, I mean I enjoy that because that was also part of like learning process when am trying to communicate or like talking to people.
I'm just curious, how did you get started on your career?
Uh, well, this is not actually my first job. So this is my second full-time job. But how did I get started? Because in my university, actually, I took like internship program. So it was just a short internship, like 3 to 4 months, but in other company. And then I tried to continue like sustainably until like I graduate. And then after that, after the graduation, because I have like few experiences of internship, it actually helps me a lot to find a better job or like to find like a job faster than my other friends. So yeah, actually, how did I manage to get the job is by doing some internship, like collecting all the experiences, trying to upgrade the skills or knowledge, make sure that you are equipped well during your study also in university.
Based on what you're saying, you seem to be having it pretty good up until now. And you know, with this new year, I want to know if you have any New Year resolutions, perhaps.
Yes, but not that particular or specific. I just want to be a better person this year. Maybe get a better job or like working on another new initiatives or projects, and then not to procrastinate on things. That yeah, basically that was something that I like always do, not always, but yeah, I almost do every day, like procrastination. So I try to basically not procrastinate anymore this year. Trying to respect others more, trying to make fun things, like not to make stress things, stress out because of every problem and so on. Just try to enjoy my life.
You mentioned procrastinating. How have you been struggling with that? Do you think it made it hard for you to stay motivated throughout the past year?
Yes, because sometimes like I mentioned, you may face like stress in your job, in your work, and then you feel less motivated, and it actually makes you wants to procrastinate things because sometimes we just see like, okay, you know what, I need some times to take a break, or just doing a leisure time because I have already done well. So those things actually been toxic, I can say, and it's actually makes me want to procrastinate things.
I'm sure that stress and those other problems can be pretty relatable for us students now. I want to know, how have you motivated yourself through these hard times and gotten through your procrastination and stress?
So what I was usually doing is first share the burdens to my colleague or friends, whoever it is trusted, and then try to have some suggestions or try to have some motivation from them. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, you need to basically surround yourself with a good people or good friends, so that basically whenever you feel down, they are actually supportive enough for waking us up. And then another thing is basically I tried myself to be I tried to remind myself basically to keep focusing on the goal, and like the goal of what I'm currently working on, like what is the purpose of my life, even deeper on that. Um, so yeah, those two things are something that I think commonly done by myself to stay or to at least like being more motivated from the previous one.
You've mentioned friends. There are many types of friends. Do you think what do you count as supportive friends?
Uh, of course, supportive friends that actually tell you a constructive suggestion or like constructive um, like saying. I can say it's not toxic friends who are, you know, when you tell them a story about your burden and then they just gossiping to other friends, or maybe they suggest something else that is worse than what we are doing now. So I think that is obvious, like a good friend will give you a constructive mind or a constructive saying.
Other than friends, like how have you motivated yourself? Just like not through the environment, but like to you personally.
Uh, yeah, like I mentioned, the second one is basically I try to be reminded of my achievement, not achievement, my goal or my objectives. Like, why am I actually doing this thing right now? What kind of 5 years plan or 5 years goal that I have, or like not even 5 years, maybe 1 year or 2 years. Maybe I want to achieve this or that, so that I need to finish this well, so in order for me to achieve that things.
Do you think that watching over people's achievements will like influence us to be motivated?
Yes, that is also something that I sometimes doing, like maybe if you guys playing social media sometimes, like in the Instagram Explore or like in the TikTok, you know, some random videos will show like people's achievement, and then sometimes it actually triggers me and like yeah, helps me to be reminded, and actually it helps also me to yeah, you know, to look for a better pov, or like to look for a better plan so that I feel motivated.
But doesn't it get disheartening sometimes to see like others' achievements compared to yours? Because like there's always that sense of
Yeah,
comparison.
again, it depends on the mindset. It
Mm.
depends on the POV that you use. But for me myself, I tried to actually make it as a trigger for me to work harder, or like to play harder, rather than just sit and relax.
Have you built up any habits recently that you find yourself doing to like stay focused on motivating yourself?
Pardon, sorry.
Have you built up any habits for yourself to like help you stay
Oh,
motivated? Would that help?
maybe sometimes I just like try to schedule breaks times,
Mm.
so that I don't feel like burnout during my work, and then try to mix up some of entertainments during the breaks, um, like maybe working with again some of the colleagues that has the same interests, um, so sometimes we each other can try to cheer up each other whenever we some of us feel less motivated.
Do you perhaps have any like suggestions or input to like how we can have your sort of mindset to things, like a positive?
Uh, well, again, I think my principle will always be surround yourself with good people, like positive people, because it will helps you to be also positive. So yeah, that's the principle that I have now.
Compared to your years back in school, what do you think you've improved nowadays as an adult?
Of course, in skills, like I'm improved, like in terms of like soft skills and hard skills. Uh, I don't really like have particular or specific behavior, but I think like I feel like every year I get better. So yeah, I'm sure that from the school days until now, there must be something that is improving each year. Each year.
With all of your improvement up until now, do you have any doubts that you won't be able to like achieve your new goals as of now? With your New Year resolution being getting over
Yeah,
procrastinations and stuff.
I think it's normal, right? When you can't achieve things and then you feel doubt with yourself. You feel like, oh, maybe I just don't deserve these things because it's just not achievable for me or something. I truly agree with that. So yeah, sometimes I feel I doubt myself.
Well, what can you recommend to us students on staying motivated?
So yeah, in order for you to stay motivated, I think like first you have to surround yourself with positive kind of people. So whenever you feel less motivated, you can get the positive vibes from your friends. And then the second one is basically you have to keep reminding yourself with what is your plan or goal in a short, medium, or even in the long term. And then I think the third one is maybe you can also like try to make a plan of your days, like so that basically you are not studying or working with your things like every time or like in a whole day. So sometimes you might have like a 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break in between, so that you don't feel boring, you don't feel like burnout or something. So yeah, try to do that, and I think if you try to practice it you can get a better result.
Are there any book recommendation for self motivation so that student can read it?
Uh, Maybe I don't know like specific books, but maybe Purpose Driven Life is some of one of the books that is very good to read, and it relates also to uh, like how you actually look at yourself, like how you actually know that your life is very precious. You have a purpose to be to live a life. Yeah, so I think that's one of the book that is suitable to be read.
Kolkarit, you mentioned having like problems with stress, right, and procrastination. Back when you were in like IPTO as a student, did you struggle with those problems as well?
Uh, I think so. I didn't really remember like vividly about that, but I think yeah, it must be, of course, as a student, in every kind of phases in your life, you will face that kind of problem, or you will face that kind of like less motivated or less motivation.
At the time, would you say that you had like the positive mindset that you have as of now, or was it bad at the time still?
I think at that time, it was I can say like easier to find us like the positive vibes or for positive friends, because yeah, you have more friends even like in your school days, because as adult like in working days like now, you won't like communicate with so many people like as you are in school. So I think it will be easier to implement that kind of principle in your school days.
Do you, well, you were talking about positive mindsets. Do you think it's important to have a positive mindset in maintaining motivation?
Yes, it is very important for you to have it, because it will actually like change everything, like how you see things, like how you treat things.
Are there like any any advice you could uh, give to students who struggles into finding motivation in their studies or any other aspect in life? Maybe like you said earlier, like procrastinating. How do you think they can overcome that?
Yeah, maybe like first things first, you need to find like what is your ultimate goal, or like your plan, or or even like your calling in life, like for why actually you need to finish the schools, like what kind of job that you are actually looking for. You need to focus on, um, and it should actually drive your motivation on doing things or learning things. So yeah, maybe you can start with that, and I think it should already change your mind, or like change your mindset at the very least.
Changing mindsets can be a quite hard thing, in my opinion, especially as of now with us students and in this, you know, era.
Right.
I want to know your opinions on like how do you feel about like the students as of now in IPTO? Like, do you think that we can still be able to motivate ourselves as much as you?
Yeah, I think, I mean, like, not only we surrounded by good friends, but you guys are also surrounded by good teachers, like, as your mentor. You can ask everything to your anything to your teacher. You have I think, like a very open culture in IPTO. You can ask even your senior, um, like for advice when you feel less motivated, or like when you try to deep dive on what's your purpose. So yeah, I don't think that is hard. Yeah, if there is nothing hard if you want to do it, actually.
How do you handle negative mindsets that uh, that it the, that overcomes your mind when you are thinking about something to do?
uh say it again.
How do you overcome a bad or like overthinking? How do you come overthinking? Like maybe you're afraid something can fail.
Mm. Oh, okay. So whenever I overthink something, usually, again, yeah, like biblically, I will remember that everything is in control, like in God's control. And then the second one is basically, I not only that, but I also be reminded usually to work on things that is my part, like do whatever the best that I can do, and let God actually give the best outputs. So that's something that usually I will do.
What do you think are the positive changes that have affected your life now with the motivation that you've built up for yourself through this year and last year?
mm, yeah, I think, like, from like the last year until now, uh there's no like a very fast changes that I can say, but keep building like a positive environment, I guess, during like years. Yeah, maybe keep building like the positive environment, or like the positive, like vibes around you. And that's something that I keep doing like every year.
Have you ever think that have you ever believed in the power of positive self-talk to enhance your motivation?
Okay, that one is actually something that is uh I don't really I don't really support, or I don't really like agree with. But maybe some of you might be strengthened by that. I don't know. But for me myself, I'm against it, because it actually uh, like it doesn't actually construct anything, and it just actually some sort of fake things, because you are trusting something that is not even like yeah, not even real, or not even uh, like the fact. So I don't think that that one is actually yeah, working for me at least.
So I see that self-talk really isn't a fit thing for you. So I assume you probably bring it true in prayers and stuff.
Yes, I think that one would be the best solution, I guess, to bring every problems, like your concerns, your overthinking, through prayers. That's something that you must to do.
So sorry. Anyways, uh, I I don't know if you noticed, but there are some people who aren't Christians. Do you think that they can also rely on their God perhaps for self motivation?
Yes, I mean, that one is also something that is in addition to what I have said. Like basically, of course, good positive vibes will come from what you believe, also, right? So, as a Christian, basically, if you trust the right you have the right faith, of course you will be always positive, because God it himself is a positive.
Well, do you integrate the prayer into your daily routine as a way to enhance your overall mindset and motivations?
Yes, sometimes when things don't work out, I just pray, like just for a few minutes, and yeah, sometimes it calms me down, at least not changing everything, but it just like calms down.
So it's almost getting pretty late, like 8 p.m. ish. I want to ask a final question from you, perhaps. To all the IPTO students as of now, do you have any recommendations, like how, or like words of motivation for how we can self motivate ourselves?
Yeah, so maybe for all IPTO students here that is watching this podcast or like show, um, I believe like you guys have your plan or your goal in your life, right? And keep your plan or goal, like, and try to achieve that as hard as you can, like, and also don't forget to pray, don't forget to surround yourself with a positive environment, so that basically you will always be positive. So yeah, I think that's my message to you guys.
Thank you, Ko Kenneth, for the podcast. Does anyone have any questions that you want to ask Ko Kenneth about?
Or perhaps the Q&A can also be aimed towards at the host. Do you have any regrets so far? Is this aimed at the host or is this aimed at our guest?
Or maybe all.
Perhaps for the first question with the regrets, I suppose that because there isn't really like a specific person it's being destined to, we can all take an answer to it. Kokanet, if you may answer first.
Okay. Uh, well, to be honest, for things that I regret, I don't really remember a particular thing because, like, I think for now, at this moment of time, at least, I feel like everything that I do, even if it's in mistake, um, even if it's not according to God's plan, I think that He could make everything good, like at the end of the time. So at least for now, I don't really have like things to regret on. Maybe you guys can answer as well.
I myself personally, I think that regrets are a pretty common thing for like all of us people. So I'm sure that we all have our own deep put up regrets, but I don't really pay much attention to mine or pay mind to it, because I just go with it in life. How about you, Michelle?
I actually don't have any regrets so far. I think that regrets are just something to slow you down and to make you overthink. Pretty sure every actions I do have a reason. Yeah, I don't really have any regrets.
Proceeding on to the next question, what are your goals in life? Personally, for me, as of now, it's just passing ninth grade. My grades are not looking up for me. It's not supporting. How about you, Michelle?
Well, my goals in life probably is just to be better or maybe improve some of my talents. Yeah.
Next up, we have what would you define success in life as? Kokanet, you may start off.
Okay, I think for me, like success is whenever you achieve your goal in whatever sense. Um, but particularly for me, like my goal is always to please other people, like to make other people happy before me. Because I think my source of happiness would be if anyone surrounds me is happy or like uh, yeah, happy because of me or even because of like my presence or even because of my because it's just like I was there or something like that. So that I think that consider as my how I define success in my life. What about you guys?
Personally, I can agree with Kokanet. Seeing people happy because of me is also what I assume as successful. And being able to make people happy because it makes me happy, it's like a win-win thing for everyone. Perhaps Michelle has different opinions.
Well, success is basically when you accomplish something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. I think that's my point of view on what success in.
Then we have what is really the first motivation for Kokanet to be working at Doku?
Wow, this is a good question. Well, it's because actually this company is a well-established company, and actually, yeah, as a good company, they have already like a well-structured company, and like even the clients itself are coming not only from Indonesia, but they have like some of international well-known clients. I would like to learn like how to handle things not only for Indonesian but also for like international clients. Actually, that's one of the motivation that I have at least to work now. Thanks for asking, by the way.
Uh, in Coconut's opinion, what could be the first step to be able to stop procrastinating?
Basically, usually I will start my procrastination with uh, terms that called as a self reward. When you say that, okay, I need to have a rest because I need to reward myself as a with a rest. And what will I do to stop it is just basically don't think that way, because you shouldn't like keep resting all the day. You need to work on things, and yeah, I mean, again, remembering the purpose will always helps you to do or like to finish things.
Uh, Perhaps are there any other questions that relate to the podcast?
Yeah, can we not talk about anything that's unrelated to the podcast, please?
Nothing much is really popping up right now. So, Michelle, if you can get on with the closing.
Okay, so we all know that we should all embrace the opportunities for growth, celebrate all the small victories and all the small accomplishments that you have had, and become passionate with yourself during moments that you find difficult. May the new year bring you the strength to overcome obstacles, and may it also set meaningful goals and the and also your self motivation. I hope it turned to your aspirations into reality. Here's to a year of transformation, empowerment, and the continuous discovery of the incredible person you are becoming. Thank you for coming to Ip to Unveiled. May God bless you all and see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.